What is up, my friends? If you're anything like me, as well as my dog, who is just a huge Marvel fan, you probably heard yesterday that there was supposed to be some huge Marvel announcement taking place today, this morning, and so you got up and you waited around for it, and then all of a sudden you started seeing some chairs. And if you're plugged into Marvel Twitter at all, or like MCU Twitter, it just felt like everybody very quickly realized what was happening. Marvel came out with this cast announcement for Avengers Doomsday, and it just started going chair by chair, each chair taking like 12 to 15 minutes, and you just got the feeling like, wow, okay, they're just kind of trolling us, this is going to take forever, and there's actually not going to be anything. But then it started to get fun. It felt like that gap in between each cast member being announced was just like a time for everybody to reflect and talk about how excited they were about that certain cast member being cast. But still, it took about 5 hours. But for this video, I just wanted to come on here, obviously get your guys' thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments on this entire situation. But Marvel did drop a second video, a shortened version of this cast announcement. Again, if you haven't watched it, there's a little surprise at the end, so I'm not going to give that away, but I figured it'd be a fun thing to watch it, react to it, and then talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's watch the version that isn't 5 hours. A lot of really interesting names here. Basically everybody that you'd expect, then some that you wouldn't expect, and then also some names left off that I found really interesting. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but you got Letitia Wright, Black Panther coming into the mix, Paul Rudd, which his chair in the 5-hour version was super small. That was hilarious. God, dude. Namor. It's going to be insane seeing him. Lots to talk about there. Shang-Chi back in the mix. I'm so excited about. Should have had 2 sequels by now. And then we start getting into this stuff. Yeah, here pretty quick when we get into the X-Men. Well, obviously we got Joseph Quinn. But we start getting into some stuff. This is when Twitter started going crazy. Loki's back. Freaking Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. You got the X-Men theme coming on. Oh my gosh, dude. James Marsden, Channing Tatum, Pedro Pascal, and I freaking love it, dude. Ah, so sick. And the tagline in the description box, it all leads to doom. It's just so exciting, guys. It's so exciting. And yeah, man, if you're at all familiar with Jonathan Hickman's run leading up to Secret Wars, I don't know. I've been getting this vibe about Doomsday and Secret Wars that a lot of it is going to be similar to the Hickman stuff, but they definitely are going to be doing their own thing. They're going to have some changes here and there, but just seeing that Namor is in this movie, that's when things kind of started getting speculative in my head, because him, Sue Storm, the history there, and also just like the fact that we set up that character in Wakanda Forever and then we haven't seen him since. I don't know. I was kind of under the impression that we just wouldn't see him again and he wouldn't show up and they would really just go with their main players. But they are adding so many freaking characters to this film, and that's surprising to me. I didn't think that we were going to go this hard in Doomsday. I thought Doomsday was really just going to be like the core Avengers and things starting to take off, and then by the time that we get to the end, we start getting into the Secret Wars stuff, we start getting into the X-Men and all those characters coming in. But what do you guys think about all of this taking place in Doomsday, and what do you think is going to be happening in Doomsday itself? I find it really freaking interesting that Tom Holland is not in this lineup. Really interesting that Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, is not in this lineup. There was also a report that came out earlier this week that She-Hulk, Tatiana Maslany, that she was going to be in this film. Didn't see her, didn't see Mark Ruffalo in there, didn't see Bruce Banner, and so it's a very interesting cast. I think there are a lot of reveals that will take place in this film, and so I don't think this is the entire cast. I think more than anything, this was an announcement to get us hyped up to see all of the characters that we love so much that we weren't really sure were going to play a role in the coming movies. You know what I mean? Like Shang-Chi gets his own movie. We haven't seen Dude again. We haven't seen Dude since that post-credit scene. Where the hell is he? Well, now we know we're at least going to get him there. Same with Letitia Wright, Black Panther. We get to see her in this. Same with Loki. and also seeing Chris Hemsworth and those two coming together, that's going to be freaking awesome. And then you have a ton of the OG X-Men coming back. Alan Cumming as freaking Nightcrawler coming back. Who expected that? Channing Tatum as Gambit. He literally made a name for himself in Deadpool and Wolverine, and now he gets to carry on that story. And I don't know whether this is, you know, Doomsday and Secret Wars are very much going to be like a passing of the torch for this X-Men to maybe a new MCU X-Men moving forward. I think that would be cool, but this is certainly an awesome last hurrah for these characters. I doubt we're going to see Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen come back many more times after this. I wouldn't expect to see them much after Doomsday and Secret Wars, and so it's such a special thing for all of us fans, and it feels like this movie, with how many characters it's operating with, it feels a lot more than just like glorified cameos. It certainly seems like they have some sort of a structure in place, and they're going to be able to utilize everybody in a cool way. At least I'm hoping so. This is a lot, and so it very easily could get overstuffed, but they did it in Endgame, they did it in Infinity War, they know how to handle this amount of characters. I just hope that there is a solid foundation and a solid core, and I do think that Anthony Mackie's Captain America can be that core for this film. There are plenty of other actors that can be that as well. Maybe you have Anthony Mackie doing something on Earth, and then you have a core on the other side. You know, maybe you have Loki doing something on the other side of the movie and kind of going back and forth between him, and then also you could have the X-Men. Also, do you think in Doomsday we're going to see X-Men versus the Avengers? Do you think that's what's going to be taking place? Because ultimately in Secret Wars and leading up to it, you have all of these incursions, and you have worlds colliding, and you have heroes battling each other. So that's a lot. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of actors, it's a lot of characters, and it's just a lot of time that we spend looking at chairs. But at the end of the day, it's all about Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. This film is now in production, and so this is going to be a reality, my friends. Whatever you think about Robert Downey Jr.'s cast as Dr. Doom, you know, it's definitely in the past now. It's what's happening. He's here to stay, and it looks like he's having a lot of fun, man. You just seeing him back on camera in a Marvel promo is freaking awesome, and just the way that he turns around in this and looks at all the chairs, it's just like, Doom is going to be in control now. Doom's going to be in control for quite a while, and I don't know, man. It's got me so hyped up for the future of the MCU. Everybody's always talking about, is the MCU dying? Is the MCU doing well? And the track record is super interesting right now, and I think after every single release, there's a new conversation to be had about where the MCU is at. But you can't lie when they're talking about an Avengers movie that's going to have all of these characters that we love so much. You can't deny, I should say, just the hype. That's the pure hype that we have as a fandom going into something like this. And so let's all hope that Avengers Doomsday is worth the wait. It's worth all of this, and it ends up being a great movie leading into a phenomenal Secret Wars. That is the fingers crossed hope that I have over here, as well as my dog Tootsie, if she could cross her fingers. But let me know all of your thoughts on all of it. What do you think Doomsday is going to be like? What do you think Secret Wars is going to be like? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, my friends, make sure you hit the like button on this video if you haven't already. But more than anything, keep up the good vibes, all right? I'll see you in the next video. Peace!